I've been racking my brains trying to think about how they could introduce Revan into canon. And the most obvious way to do it would be to do it in the actual Star Wars movies themselves. Now, we could have an Old Republic trilogy of movies, or we could have like just a standalone single Old Republic movie. Or we could even have a movie called Revan, a Star Wars story. But before we even get to that stage, I think that Revan should appear as a Force ghost in the current trilogy. Maybe he could appear to Luke, for example. Like, it would make perfect sense. Because, like, it seems to me that Luke has been this character for a very long time that is torn between light and dark, just like Revan. Like, even if you look at Revan's Wikipedia page, there's this quote from Darth Malak, and it says, "In the end, you belong to neither the light nor the darkness. You will forever stand alone." So he's talking about Revan there, but to be honest, like, this bit of the quote, it could be applied to Luke, because it seems that Luke belongs to neither the light nor the dark. And, well, I mean, that may have not always been the case. Because in the original trilogy, he seems to drift more towards the light, obviously. But, I mean, you've got to remember that Darth Vader was his father after all. And then Luke has been alone on that planet of his for quite some time. Just how long exactly, we don't really know. But I would imagine he's been there ever since Kylo Ren, like, joined the First Order. So, some people think that this theme is unique to the Emperor, meaning Emperor Palpatine. But in actual fact, it's not, because it was used in Star Wars The Old Republic, the video game. Most predominantly at the end of Knights of the Eternal Throne when you defeat Emperor Valkorion. So it seems this theme can be applied to quite a lot of emperors in Star Wars. Maybe even quite a lot of Sith Lords. But remember, like, the Old Republic isn't canon at the moment, but that could change, of course. But I mean, like, just imagine if this theme played in either episode 8 or 9 when it was like a Snoke scene or something. I mean, I know it wouldn't be very likely because it would more likely play Snoke's theme. But you know, I can always dream because it's like a bit of nostalgia, and I just think like this theme, like it just defines like ancient, powerful evil. Like, we don't really know how old Palpatine was when he died. Well, it's probably on Wikipedia, but I can't be asked to look it up. But I would imagine that Palpatine wasn't as ancient as Valkorion. But the point is, he was still old, and like Palpatine probably like harnessed loads of ancient dark powers anyway. So let's just have a listen to this classic theme. Okay, so that's enough of that. Right, let's hear this quote, what Palpatine says in Revenge of the Sith.
Unfortunately, he taught his apprentice everything he knew. Then his apprentice killed him in his sleep. Ironic. He could save others from death, but not himself.
So, did Palpatine think that he killed his master when really he didn't? He said, but not himself. Well, maybe he did save himself. Maybe Plagueis is Snoke. Think about it. Palpatine, like, he's the ultimate double crosser and double agent. So he'll be massively pissed off if he found out that his master got one over on him again. But of course, he's probably never going to find that out because he's dead, or so we think. Unless he comes back as a Force ghost or something. I mean, he obviously wouldn't be so ironic if we found out that Plagueis was still alive. Like, so, my absolute dream would be, obviously, like, Revan's ghost appearing to Luke, but what if it played this theme at the same time? Well, it might be a more quieter version of that theme. Here it refers to Revan as the prodigal knight. Isn't that really what Luke is, if you think about it? like, I mean, what if, like, Luke was a reincarnation of Revan? That would be a massive bombshell, wouldn't it? I mean, Luke's got a beard, and so's Revan. I mean, would it be more likely that Luke was a reincarnation of the Outlander from Star Wars: The Old Republic? No, that would probably be less likely, actually. Obviously, those fans who are familiar with Revan will think, oh my god, this is so epic. Like, if they suddenly see him show up in episode 8 or 9. Like, but those fans not familiar with Revan, this will, like, stand as an introduction to his character. So they want to see a movie with him in afterwards. Like, like he could appear to Luke and he could be like, I am Revan. I was the prodigal knight. And then he just goes on and he has his moment. It is entirely possible that Luke could have created a new version of the Order of Revan. Like, for those who don't know, the Order of Revan was basically a cult. So, I mean, the cult could have been made up of, like Luke's apprentices, that would eventually become the Knights of Ren. Just look at Luke in this black clothing, and like even him with his hood up here. Like, doesn't that remind you of Revan's black clothing and Revan with his hood up? He even looks like Revan's got a green lightsaber, and of course Luke had a green lightsaber. I mean, even this savior, conqueror, hero, villain. These are words that describe Revan. Could they be words that describe Luke? We already know that Luke was a hero and a saviour. But is he about to become a conqueror and a villain? Like, that's basically what happened with Anakin, actually. He started off as a hero and a saviour, then he became a conqueror and a villain. Of course, in Star Wars: The Old Republic, Revan's Force Ghost seemed to be totally destroyed. But of course, that's not canon anymore, so it could be changed. Like, I mean, either that or, like, Revan's consciousness or energy or whatever goes into Supreme Leader Snoke, or it forms Supreme Leader Snoke as a being. Like, for those who have played the Shadow of Revan DLC, you will be familiar with the bit when the two Revans become one. So maybe the two Revans becoming one, maybe that resulted in Snoke